The older we get, the more susceptible we become to injuries. And while this doesn't mean we shouldn't train hard in the gym, it does mean we need to be a little more cautious about the exercises we select. And that's exactly what I want to discuss in this video: the 5 most dangerous exercises for men over 40 and which ones you should do instead. But first, a couple of honorable mentions. Barbell squats and deadlifts, 2 of the best exercises for muscle and strength, come with a few risks, especially when done with heavy loads. As we age, factors like reduced joint mobility, decreased bone density, and slower recovery rates increase the likelihood of injuries in the lower back, knees, and hips. These heavy compound lifts place significant stress on these areas, and without adequate core stability, mobility, and warm-up, the risk of strains, herniated discs, or joint issues rises. Now, this isn't to say you shouldn't perform these exercises. In fact, I'd suggest keeping these in your program for as long as you can perform them comfortably. That said, if and when they become harder to perform or more difficult to recover from, alternatives like Smith machine squats and trap bar deadlifts would work just as well. So, while these exercises can be dangerous, they aren't inherently bad. Thus, they won't quite make the list. Instead, we'll be focusing on exercises that should never be a part of a training program. Exercises that, no matter how great your form, the downsides far outweigh any upside. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Exercise number 1, behind the neck presses. These presses place significant stress on the shoulder capsule. Studies show that forcing your shoulder into this position causes the humeral head to press against the front of the joint, stretching out the anterior shoulder capsule over time. The result? A looser, less stable shoulder that's far more prone to injury. Starting the press from this extreme, externally rotated, stretched out position puts you in the weakest spot possible. Your shoulders lose leverage, your pressing power takes a hit, and your joints take all the punishment. Add a heavy barbell to the mix, and you're practically begging for impingement, inflammation, or a wrecked rotator cuff. Over time, that constant strain wears down on your shoulders, turning minor aches into chronic pain or serious joint damage, especially for those who've already put years of wear and tear on their joints. As we age, flexibility and mobility naturally decline. So instead of compromising your shoulders and increasing the likelihood of injury, perform a more traditional shoulder press where you're bringing the bar to the front of your torso. I recommend the seated Smith machine shoulder press, as this variation provides stability and allows you to lift heavier. Exercise number 2, behind the neck pull downs. According to this study, wide grip front pull downs outperform behind the neck pull downs in activating the lats, posterior delts, and teres major. Not only is this movement less effective for building muscle, but it forces you into an awkward, mechanically disadvantaged position where you'll be forced into using lighter loads. The excessive external rotation at the bottom can put undue strain onto the rotator cuff muscles and tendons, especially if your mobility isn't what it used to be. Maintaining proper form during these is also challenging, making it easier to lose control of the weight and thus lose significant stimulus on the lats and other back muscles. For a safer alternative, simply shift from pulling down behind the neck to pulling down in front of you. Traditional lat pull downs not only provide better muscle activation, but they remove unneeded stress from your shoulders. Exercise number 3, forward lunges. According to one study, forward lunges create high shear forces in the knees compared to reverse and walking lunges. These shear forces are the type of stress that lead to breakdown over time. This increased stress can lead to discomfort and turn minor knee issues into major ones. According to this study, forward lunges also produce greater patellofemoral joint stress and impact than backward lunges. Since anterior knee pain is already one of the most common knee issues, forward lunges just push you further down that path. Based on these findings, it's probably a good idea to switch to a safer alternative. The reverse lunge, for example, isn't just less risky for your knees, but studies show that they resulted in the highest activation of the glutes and quads compared to forward and walking lunges. That said, I prefer the Bulgarian split squat. Elevating the rear leg increases your range of motion, allowing for a deeper stretch on the quads and glutes, something you won't get with standard lunges. And that matters because studies show that training these muscles at longer lengths leads to greater hypertrophy. Exercise number 4, good mornings. As we age, we're more vulnerable to disc degeneration, herniations, or chronic lower back pain. And because good mornings significantly load your lower back, they require extra control and stability. The muscle stimulus you think you're getting just isn't worth the trade-off. In this movement, your lower back becomes the limiting factor instead of the hamstrings and glutes, making progressive overload a challenge. And the heavier you go, the more you shift the risk to reward ratio in the wrong direction. On top of that, executing good mornings safely requires more than just strong legs. You need solid core stability and excellent hip hinge mechanics, which means more moving parts that need to be dialed in. And if you've got tight hamstrings or poor hip mobility, you're even more likely to round your back to compensate, resulting in a greater risk for spinal injury. Instead, if you want to train your glutes and hamstrings in the same length and position, stick to Romanian or stiff-legged deadlifts. These distribute the load more evenly across the posterior chain muscles. For even safer alternatives, hit them in the shortened position with hip thrusts for the glutes and leg curls for the hamstrings. These exercises are easier to progressively overload and target the muscles more effectively without putting your lower back in a compromised position. And exercise number 5, upright rows. To be fair, upright rows are great at targeting the mid-delts and the upper traps, but performing them the traditional way creates several problems. A fixed bar locks your hands into a rigid position, limiting movement not just in the wrist, but also at the elbows and shoulders. Without the ability to naturally adjust, your joints are forced into a constrained motion. As you drive your elbows up and bring the bar close to your chin, two things happen. First, the humeral head jams into the shoulder socket, compressing the soft tissues in the subacromial space. This restricts movement and increases joint stress, making it harder for the rotator cuff to stabilize the shoulder properly. Second, the acromion grinds against a rotator cuff tendon, creating friction that can lead to inflammation, pain, and long-term tendon damage. Over time, this combination of joint compression and direct tendon irritation raises the risk of shoulder impingement and mobility issues. And if that wasn't bad enough, upright rows mimic the Hawkins-Kennedy test, a movement doctors use to intentionally provoke impingement symptoms. The same motion used to diagnose shoulder impingement is exactly what you're doing with every rep. So, if you want the reward without the risk, perform these with a wide grip, as this not only targets the traps and delts better, but also lessens the internal rotation of the humerus. To take it a step further, use dumbbells to allow more freedom of movement at the wrists and shoulders, reducing the probability of aches and impingements once more. To make these even safer, stop at shoulder height, as injury from this exercise often occurs above this. And if you're still struggling to build muscle, I'm looking for 5 dedicated men over 40 who want to gain muscle, burn fat, and build their best physique in the next 16 weeks. But before you apply, make sure you meet these criteria. First, you must be at least 35 years old, no exceptions. Next, you must have at least 1 year of lifting experience. Also, you must have access to a gym at least 3 times per week. And lastly, you must be able to start right away. If that's you and you're ready to build more muscle in the next 16 weeks than you have in the last 12 months, then click the link below and fill out the short application form. From there, I'll contact you directly via text or email within 24 to 48 hours. And if we're a good fit to work together, we'll get started right away. Now, there is a small investment because when you pay attention. I'm putting my heart and soul into helping you achieve your best body, and I expect you to be all in too. So click the link in the description, fill out the short application form, and we'll talk soon. Did you find this video helpful? If so, click the like button below as it'll truly help out the channel. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more videos and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next one. Peace.